Wow, you can really tell that any color I had is now gone, because, yeah. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another review that isn't necessarily a holiday release review. It's more of like a restock review. And obviously we are talking about the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. You all would have heard me in one of my anti-hauls. I think it was products I actually want, where I was really salty that this came out and then it was like sold out within like super quickness. And then they're like, oh, sign up for the email notification for when it comes back into stock. And then the palette just completely disappeared off the site. And then they released this freaking like red tone palette before restocking it, even though there was a crap ton of demand for this to come back. Pretty sure I was just scrolling through a trend mood and I saw that it was back in stock and I was like, the gorgeousness of this palette will finally be mine. So we have it right here, looking long and slender. You are getting 10 shades, and honestly, this is like a little bit bigger than I thought it was gonna be, like lengthwise, and then the shadows on the inside, I thought it was gonna be more kind of like the size of the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palettes, which are like, I want to say like probably like this big. So I was pleasantly surprised by the size. It is going to run you a expensive price of $58. And I will let you guys know that shipping was $7. I did not feel like picking up anything else, and I was just like, bite the bullet, just pay that $7 shipping. I assume this is going to be a limited edition, which I honestly think is stupid because this palette received so much positive feedback. I think it would be a really dumb idea for Melt Cosmetics not to keep this palette as well as just palettes in their arsenal of things you can buy. Obviously, it is what I am wearing on my peepers today. I started with this Mochi shade, then we went into Fire OG, then Leo, was gonna say LED. Leo, and then in this area here, we have Goals. Alright, but enough talk about that. Let us get into swatching this bad boy, and then we can talk about how I feel if it's worth that heavy price tag. So up close, the palette looks like this. I love the ratio of mattes. You are getting 8 mattes and 2 shimmers. And what I love about that is also you've got kind of this like section thing going on here. You've got the greens going on here with the green shimmer, then kind of the brown warm tones over here with the correlating shimmer, and just kind of a black in there to deepen up whichever look you want to go for. We're going to start off here with Luna, Gemini, and Lauralee. Here we have, I will say that the shimmers are not the like softest shimmers I've ever felt. They're not like Anastasia, Soft Glam, and Modern Renaissance. But a shimmer don't have to be buttery soft for it to be good. Next we have Polka Dot, Cupcake, and Bonnie, which is the black. Here we have going on there like that. And that black, I must say, she is pigmented, and spoiler alert, she is kind of like maybe potentially working its way into being my favorite formulated black, which you all know is usually the Kat Von D formula, which is just, first time I dipped into that black, I was never going back. Then we have Leo, Goals, and Fire OG, and then we'll just do Mochi here as well. Which, oh, that lovely grungy greeniness. There we are. Obviously, it don't take long to swatch this kind of palette because it's only got 10 shades, but there we have them going on like that. And I will say for some of them, for the most part, they're like pretty on par, but I think some of these shades, like this one and this one, show up not so good in the swatch, but do perform better on the eyes. Also, this one as well. But swatches being had, let's just talk about my experience with this. Now, when this released, everyone went a little bit crazy because I feel like the music industry, the makeup industry had gotten a little bit stale. We were kind of releasing the same thing over and over again. There wasn't really anything that was kind of new and inventive. Subculture came out and everyone was like, ooh, that's a very unique and a new color theory, but a lot of people didn't get along with the formula, so that was kind of a fail. And then Melt Cosmetics, which is already a brand that has a very die-hard following, decided, okay, instead of releasing our regular stacks, we're gonna do a palette, and we're gonna do it in this really nice, new, and unique color theory. We're gonna have these kind of yellowy, orangey, warm tones, which are very, you know, basic and safe. And then we're gonna include these really beautiful and unique mustardy, khaki, army green, which I feel like really got everybody's attention because green is not a color or a color story that a lot of brands have really kind of gone out and said like, yes, let's have an all green palette. Or I know that, let's see here, Viseart did their like absinthe palette, which was their like, I think it's like 6 shades. It kind of had a greeny tone to it, but just not a lot of brands, say Urban Decay, Too Faced, even Kat Von D, Tarte, aren't really doing the green. So color theory wise, I absolutely love this. I love tones like this regularly. I love tones like this because they're so unique, they're grungy, they're earthy, they're something we don't see done a lot. So color theory wise, I am absolutely in love with this. And formula-wise, I wasn't sure what I was expecting because I knew it had gotten like good reviews. It has been a while, I want to say. I did do the Huda Beauty before I've like tried a completely new brand, new eyeshadow formula because I kind of tend to stick to liking what I know. And so using this, I've used every shade in the palette. This black is absolutely to die for. It is pigmented. It blends beautifully. It is opaque. This is a phenomenal black. Some of these shades like Laura Lee and Fire OG can tend to be a little bit patchy when you're first starting out with them, but patting on a little bit more and a little bit blending, I feel like it performs very well. And every other shade performed absolutely beautifully. They were pigmented, they blended out well, they looked good. None of them muddied, they just blended perfectly into this nice airbrushed. I mean, I feel like this like color theory here, having this like neutral bit here with these beautiful mustardy, yellowy, green, orange, whateverness is hopefully going to be like the future of palettes that we're going to see in 2019. It sounds lame, but I honestly have no bad things to say about this palette. The price point is a little bit much, but when you take into consideration the price point of Melt Cosmetics other stuff, it's kind of, I don't know if you want to say expected, but I feel like their eyeshadow stacks are pretty pricey for what you get. So this is a little pricey for what you get, but what you get is really good. I know this is a palette I'm going to dip into a lot. I love the fact that all the colors work so beautifully together. You can put the greens with the browns with the greens. This is also going to be a very phenomenal companion palette that I can use with my Kat Von D Shade and Light or my Tarte Clay Play palettes, where I can kind of zhuzh up the neutrals a little bit, either with some of these more like orangey toned ones, or pop in one of these kind of greeny shades to give me a little bit more than just neutral. I feel like this palette is completely up to the hype. I am super happy that I decided to go on that bandwagon and bite the bullet to actually finally get this, because I know I am just going to reach for this so stinking much in the fall, through the winter, and then you can transition into spring. It is just so well thought out. The quality is really good. I have nothing bad to say about this palette, like I said. And if you have been like, kind of like, do I want to get it, but I'm not sure, and if it is still in stock, I would highly recommend investing in this. And I kind of now really want their like 27 one because the formula is just so nice on this. I'm like, I don't need another red tone palette, but I really like the formula. That would be kind of nice to have. So yeah, definitely a palette that I would recommend. If you already have this palette, you got it on the first launch, let me know what you think about it down below. If you agree with my conclusion or you don't, I have been absolutely loving this thing, very blown away by just the whole shebang bang of it all. And also let me know if it's something you think you want to pick up or you're gonna anti-haul it, all that jazz. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!